Now again, it is important that we focus our attention on the procurement cells as well as their shipping fleet to see the kind of activity that they get into after the ground operations have been complete. The third element that we need to look at is the LTT's significant capability in terms of their broadcast and media facilities. As you know, the LTTE was one of the few terrorist groups that ran a subscription satellite television channel with news segments coming out of Kilinochchi. Now, the uplink facilities for this channel was initially coming out of France, and they had been shut down. It was moved to Serbia, then on to Italy, and then on to Israel. The excellent work done by the Sri Lankan government in alerting these authorities in these respective countries has managed to get these uplink facilities terminated in each of these places. But it doesn't mean that the satellite subscription satellite facility that the LTTE has would disappear. It is likely in the next couple of months this channel would be reactivated, because it is a rallying point to mobilize the diaspora. And information coming out at this stage says that the LTT's satellite channel has purchased license of a Nepalese channel that used to operate out of the UK. Yet there is no confirmation, and this needs to be closely monitored. Now, these three activities that I have mentioned, that is the fundraising, fund management component, the procurement and the logistics component, and the broadcasting facilities, are areas that the LTTE would need to survive as an overseas entity. And it is paramount that we get our intelligence services restructured in a way that they focus on each of these three areas with in-depth knowledge of how they operate. Moving on to the other areas that the international network operates is community mobilization. I spoke about this when I spoke about the satellite channel. The LTTE's international network used to operate predominantly out of what was known as the TCC office in each country, that is the Tamil Coordinating Committee. In every country there was a Tamil Coordinating Committee or an organization of its equivalent, and the LTT used to appoint a country representative. And the country representative would then ensure that there are regional representatives and people in charge of fundraising, propaganda, and political lobbying. Now, with the destruction of the LTTE, it is unclear as to what role the TCC and the country representative of the LTTE in each country would have. Their powers may decline, their ability to coerce the community may decline. However, we need to keep a close watch on the future evolution of the TCC and its structures in each of these countries. And the final area that the LTT has an active presence is political lobbying, or what is known as public relations. Now, with the defeat of the LTTE, there would be a global view of an underdog scenario for the Tamil cause, as it was, or the Tamil issue. Now, we need to ensure that the true realities of what is taking place and the development that is envisaged in the northern and eastern provinces is properly disseminated, so that this political lobbying and public relations doesn't overcome with the distorted information. Up to now, if you have seen most of the rallies that have been held in the recent few days, each one of them had a huge number of people carrying the LTTE flag. And I think the fact that the Tamil people, the Tamil public relations mechanism has been closely linked with the LTTE has been, in a sense, their failure to gain significant political attention internationally. There have been some successes they have had, especially in terms of Erik Solheim and in Norway, and also unfortunately David Miliband in the UK. But mostly the LTT's political lobbying has been with the Tamil tiger insignia, and this is a weight, in a sense, around their neck, a millstone around their neck, because whenever they go up for meetings with political leaders, they are identified with the Tamil tigers. But with the destruction of the LTTE, there is a possibility that a new Tamil leadership internationally will begin to emerge, which may disassociate itself with this insignia and the links with the Tamil tigers, and may have a more laundered and credible approach, in which the politicians in the host countries would accept or tolerate their presence. So this is also an area that the Sri Lankan authorities need to address. Now, in doing this, in identifying the strengths and weaknesses of the LTT's international network, I think it is important that we use that to develop a strategy in Sri Lanka as to how we are going to counter the LTT's international strength. It is important for Sri Lanka, now that we have come out of the terrorism that we were stuck with, to develop what is known as a fusion center. This is where intelligence services and foreign affairs and the security services come together, and there is a fusion of information in which the information that foreign affairs has is then linked with what is happening with intelligence and security services. So we need to develop a fusion center where the intelligence services such as the SIS concentrate on the more hard end, as it were, of the LTT's activities, such as fundraising avenues, weapons procurement and logistics networks, and broadcast facilities, while we have the foreign ministry focusing on their political lobbying and public relations. Now these things have to be coordinated well, and that's why I call for a fusion center for the international, to counter the LTT's international network. We need to develop a strategy, and there has to be a mandate that all our ambassadors overseas, as well as our intelligence services, be provided with, that they are there to focus on the emerging threats posed by the LTTE and whatever evolution that the new Tamil diasporic powers will come together, will form, and how we're going to counter that. So these are some of the things, these are some of the thoughts that I thought important to share with you at this conference. I hope that these have been enlightening, and that that some level of interest would be given not only to eliminating the LTTE within Sri Lanka, but also countering the LTTE's threat overseas, because that's a significant threat which we haven't really seen at this stage, which we haven't understood and can actually come back to haunt us. So I take this opportunity to thank you again for giving me this, inviting me to address this forum, and I wish you all successful deliberations in the future, and good luck with the conference. Thank you very much.